Okay, so it is time to set the eggs. I have 4 eggs right now from Flora, and this usually I would probably not normally set them this early. I'd probably set next Friday, but why not, right? So you can see that I've collected these each day she's had them. So 2-1, 2-2, 2-5, 2-6. This one is a little oddly shaped. My guess it was probably in the system the same time as this one, and that's why she laid them so back to back. And then same thing with these. We got a little more pointy, a little more round, but she's getting pretty consistent for a second year layer, figuring it out and going into the nest box now with these and laying like she should. I have turned on my incubator. It is already rotating. It's up to temperature. It's mostly up to humidity. It is sucking its water from its jug. So all I need to do now is put these in a tray. But there's a couple other things that you probably need to know for incubating if you haven't done it before. The first is you want to be able to hand turn eggs at least 2 times a day. 3 times is ideal if your machine doesn't turn for itself. So I always do mine morning and night. I track them. This is a document that I got off the NSGA and I laminated it. So it tells you day 1 what you need to do, 5-minute cool and then mist on days 4, 5, and 6, going up to a 10-minute cool, then a 15-minute and lockdown. So, like I said, I laminate mine. I use dry erase marker, and so I will load this with today's date and my first batch. Now, I also use a couple other tools that I have available on my website, honkhelp.com. Those include just basically a tracking sheet so that I can say on day 1, I set 10 eggs. On day 7, when I candled, I had this many that were fertilized, so that I can get my fertility rate and then ultimately get down to my hatch rate. The other thing I do is I document the weights on these eggs. And you're probably wondering why weighing is important, because I did too. It took me a couple years, probably 4 years, before I decided to start weighing my eggs. It seems like an extra step and a hassle, but what it will do is if you have questions about where your humidity level needs to be, it's going to tell you that. So every week, you're going to weigh your eggs. I'm going to do it on Fridays because Fridays are the day I'm going to set. So then I'll be 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 28 days, hatching into the weekend. So when you get to the point that you start marking your air cell on the eggs, and I'll show this to you in a week, the dip that air cell makes, you're going to figure out by the weight how much weight you should be losing, and if it's too high, you're going to lower your humidity, and if it's too low, you're going to increase your humidity. And I do have documents about humidity levels on Honk Help as well. You can also reach out to me directly. I am happy to kind of coach you through all of these steps. But I will pause this video and get those tools loaded next so you can see them on this video and how they work. Okay, so the eggs are now in the tray. And I did forget to mention one thing. So a lot of times you'll see people put an X on one side of the egg and an O on the other, and that is for your hand turning process. So that when you turn the eggs, you get to the opposite side. I did not mark these eggs because they're pretty well written on the one side, so once I get to the other side, it's going to be obvious, but I will probably go ahead and put some kind of mark on the other side of the egg just to make it easier for me going forward. But that's what those X and O's are meant to represent, so that you know you've done a half turn on your eggs when you're doing your candling and not candling, when you're doing your turning.